What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another Star Wars Closet video where we dive deep into a galaxy far, far away. And today's video is going to be another little bit of a controversial one, but not too bad. I would say it's not my most controversial, but it is one that will leave you thinking, maybe, hopefully. That is the point. Today we're tackling the bold claim of Jango Fett being the most slept on Star Wars character of all time. He is the slickest bounty hunter in all of Star Wars, and in my opinion is the most underrated character in all of the saga. That's right, baby, I said it. I'm not afraid to say things. I don't know that that's like the craziest thing anyone's ever said in Star Wars. In fact, I know it's not. While fans like myself obsess over characters like Darth Vader, Yoda, Luke Skywalker, Anakin Skywalker, Grogu, and more, we are missing the impact of this guy, Jango Fett. And he is, by the way, my second favorite character in all of Star Wars. His impact is massive, and his story is tragic. His skills are unmatched, and honestly, he just looks awesome. So why does he not get the love that he deserves?
I still love you.
Before we talk about all of that and more, make sure you hit subscribe, hit the bell, hit the like button, all the things. Join the high ground. Follow me on X at Star Wars Closet. You can also follow me on Instagram, the Star Wars Closet. So with all that being said, grab your jetpacks, a lightsaber, and a blue milk and join me as we talk about Jango Fett.
I'm just a simple man trying to make my way in the universe.
So first, let's set the stage. Jango Fett struts into Star Wars in Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, as the galaxy's top bounty hunter. He's hired by Count Dooku to be the template for the Republic's clone army. That is something we are going to be talking about because I'm obsessed with the bounty hunter video game that he is the star of. I love that game. It's also in my top 5 list of video games. So make sure when you get a chance at the end of this video, go and watch that video because I talk about it. He's got a sleek Mandalorian suit and he's raising a young Boba Fett as his son. But Jango's more than just a cool outfit and a jetpack. He's a complex figure, a loner with a code, a father, and a warrior whose choices shape the entire Star Wars saga.
You want to clone me?
Imagine an army of clones, the training of which you will oversee and will be programmed for absolute loyalty. They will be magnificent, perfect warriors like you. A chance at immortality, to pass on your ways to an army crafted in your image.
I'll accept your offer, Tyrannus, on one condition.
And that is?
I want the first clone for myself, unmodified. Deal.
Hey guys, hold up real quick because I want to tell you about today's sponsor, Soundstripe. Soundstripe is a website that I've been using for a long time to easily find and license high quality music, sound effects, and stock video footage. Before Soundstripe, it took me seemingly forever to find good quality music. But Soundstripe has amazing search and filter capabilities, pre-populated playlists, and many other features that have made finding and licensing music painless. If you're ready to level up your content, check out Soundstripe using the link in the description and offer code The Star Wars Closet for 10% off your first purchase. Thank you so much, Soundstripe, for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to it. So why do fans overlook him? How would that even be possible? Let's break this down with 5 reasons that I have for you as to why Jango Fett is the most underrated character in all of Star Wars. Reason number 1, Jango's skills are next level. This guy takes on Obi-Wan Kenobi, my favorite character in all of Star Wars, by the way, a Jedi Master in a rain-soaked brawl on Kamino, and holds his own. Blasters, flamethrowers, jetpack maneuvers, he is a one-man arsenal. And let's not forget that seismic charge scene in the asteroid field. Pure cinematic gold.
Wait for it. Here it comes.
Jango's not just a bounty hunter, he's a legend who makes every moment he's on screen feel electric. But here's the thing, fans often rank other heroes ahead of him like Han Solo, Din Djarin. Why? Maybe because his screen time is so short-lived? Or maybe it's because he becomes overshadowed by his own son, Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. Boba Fett.
But Jango's efficiency and style are not talked about enough. He is the blueprint for every cool bounty hunter in the entire Star Wars saga from then on out. Number 2. Jango's DNA literally builds the Republic's army. Without him, there's no clone troopers, no Clone Wars, no Order 66. This guy's genetic code is the backbone of the prequel trilogy's biggest conflict. He's not just a hired gun. He's a linchpin in Palpatine's grand plan. And yet, how often do fans not talk about that? How often are you sitting around talking about, man, isn't it great that Jango Fett was the template for the entire clone army? No, we talk about Rex, we talk about Cody, but we never talk about this guy. This is the guy that made it all possible. He is the reason that we love those characters. Because this guy exists, they all exist. Jango's choice to lend his DNA to the Kaminoans wasn't just a job. It was a calculated move by a man who knows his worth. And let's not forget he asked for an unaltered clone, Boba, as part of the deal.
Apart from his pay, which is considerable, Fett demanded only one thing: an unaltered clone for himself.
To me, that shows foresight and humanity. Fans like to focus on the Jedi and the Sith orchestrating the entire war, but Jango's role as the spark of the war is completely underappreciated. Reason number 3, Jango's a father, and that's where his story gets heartbreaking. He raises Boba as a son, not just a clone, teaching him the bounty hunter trade. Those quiet moments on Kamino, Jango watching Boba, giving him advice, show a man who's more than a mercenary. He's building a legacy. But then Geonosis happens. Jango goes toe-to-toe with Mace Windu, and it doesn't go well. Jango's death is brutal. Mace Windu's lightsaber ends him in front of Boba. And really the way that it happened was brutal enough, but the way that it was meant to happen, woo!
Oh God!
That moment scars Boba, setting him on his path in The Empire Strikes Back and beyond.
My chain code has been encoded in this armor for 25 years. See, this is me, Boba Fett. This is my father, Jango Fett.
Fans love Boba's arc, but Jango's sacrifice? It's the emotional core that starts it all. Yet how many fans are talking about the relationship of Jango and Boba as they are about Din Djarin and Grogu? His human side gets lost in the armor and all the blaster smoke. Reason number 4, Jango's stuck in Boba's shadow. Boba Fett, with his Empire Strikes Back mystique and the Mandalorian comeback, is a fan favorite, but Jango is the original Mandalorian bounty hunter. He's the one who passes down the armor, the skills, the legacy. Without Jango, there is no Boba. Yet fans, and even Disney, seem to give Boba all the love. And I also think Boba Fett is a fun character. He's awesome, really cool. Again, I've said this over and over in this video. He came from this dude. Look at the book of Boba Fett. It's all about Boba's redemption. But Jango's influence, his training, his armor looms large. Fans argue over Boba's show, but Jango's story sets the stage. And let's talk Mandalorians. The Mandalorian made Din Djarin a star. Jango's a key part of that lore, but he's rarely celebrated. He's the unsung hero of the Mandalorian mythos. Reason number 5. Jango's a prequel character, and the prequels, despite their glow up in recent years, still get flack from a lot of fans. Now, we've talked here on the Star Wars Closet about the prequels and their impact on all of Star Wars. To me, it is the greatest of the entire era of Star Wars. But back in 2002, Attack of the Clones caught heat for its dialogue and pacing. Jango, as a prequel exclusive character, got caught in the crossfire. Fans who grew up with the originals or joined during the sequels sometimes dismiss prequel characters. Jango's not in The Last Jedi or Andor, so he's not part of those debates. And really, that's kind of what it is. Jango's just kind of like lost in the history of what Star Wars is over the last 20 to 25 years. Now all we want to do is debate about Andor or The Last Jedi or Acolyte. And we lose the fact that there are characters like this that shaped a lot of what we are talking about today. But that's exactly why he's underrated. His era, the prequels, laid the foundation for everything we love, from clone lore to Mandalorian culture. Jango's impact echoes across the saga, but he's rarely given the spotlight. Now let's talk video games because Jango shines there as well. Star Wars Bounty Hunter. This came out in 2002. Now again, I did a whole video about my top 5 list of Star Wars games. This game is on there, so make sure you go check that out. This game gives us Jango's backstory, hunting bounties, taking down rivals, all while rocking that jetpack. It's a cult classic, but how many fans talk about it compared to, say, Jedi Survivor or Knights of the Old Republic? Again, really not enough. Jango's also in comics and novels, like his Open Seasons arc, which dives into the Mandalorian roots. These stories show Jango as a survivor, a leader, and a man with a code. But because he's not a Jedi or a Sith, he doesn't get the same hype. Games and comics can be niche, and Jango's stuck in that corner of the fandom. Again, if you haven't played Star Wars Bounty Hunter from 2002, it got re-released on like the Switch and more modern consoles about a year or two ago. It is so good, and they made it a lot better. You've got to play it. And if you haven't and you like the character of Jango Fett, you're missing out on so much of what makes his character so interesting. So why does Jango's character in Star Wars feel so underrated? Well, it's a mix of factors. His short screen time in Attack of the Clones, which comes out to about 20 minutes. It means he's not as fleshed out as like Vader or someone like Mace Windu. The prequel's mixed reception didn't help, and Boba's larger presence steals the spotlight. Social media doesn't help either. Posts about Jango are very rare compared to debates about the Acolyte or Andor. And I did a whole very long video about the fan wars that we are all currently in right now. You should go check that out. That one took me a long time. If you would, at the end, make sure you watch that one too. And let's be real, Disney hasn't given Jango a comeback. No Jango Fett series, he is left in the shadows. But this is where we, the fans, come in. Jango's story resonates with those who see him as a lone wolf, a father, a warrior who shaped the galaxy. No, he's not flashy like Darth Maul. He's not cuddly like Grogu. But honestly, here's the thing. Jango's story and just character overall is a part of what makes Star Wars so great. Complex characters, big stakes, and human moments. But our fandom is so caught up in fights over things like The Last Jedi and the Acolyte and so on, that we overlook characters, gems of characters like Jango Fett. And maybe it's time to change that. Let's give Jango the credit that he's due, not just for his blasters, but his heart and legacy. Imagine a Star Wars where we celebrate all corners of the saga. Prequels, sequels, games, books. Jango's a reminder that every character, even the underrated ones, add to the galaxy's magic.
I'm just a simple man trying to make my way in the universe.
So let's stop gatekeeping and start geeking out together. So with all that being said, my fellow closet Star Wars nerds, do you think Jango is highly underrated? And what is your favorite Jango moment and why? Is it in the games, movies, a comic book? You tell me in the comments below. We gotta get this bounty hunter some love. If you enjoyed this quick breakdown of the Jango Fett character, then make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, follow me on X, all of the things. Join the high ground as we continue our quest to 1 million subscribers. We have a lot of videos here on the Star Wars Closet. We have one that goes out almost every single week. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you all in the next one.